My shalom. The people are free. The people was never held captive. And these people that haven't been captive is the bearers of the image of God. Now, if we ain't caught up yet, we need to get caught up. So it is what it is for the people. The maniacs that came over here, language shifted, brought us the language of magic. Our people history go back so far that you couldn't even count with your hands and if you had a mind. Everyone has corrupted our way, our image, and what we believe. They turned our knowledge of self that we brought into all of the known worlds of the ancient world, known as the Middle East today. Our people brought that knowledge to the Middle East. It started right here in the soil of this land of America. So I don't know how clear it is for everyone, how clear it is for myself. So your people was a marvelous people. What you think Marvel Universe about? Your people was magnificent people. Your people was the only people that kept historical records of themselves. So when you see these other cultures picking up something of knowing their ancestors, that come from us. So we got to know history before we get into a little of the mystery. Because the mystery is what they couldn't find out. But our ancestors invented this word, Hibiru. Now, the goal of magic is to alter through spells. So when they alter the spelling from Hibiru to Hebrew, that's magic. You must look at these words, people. Where they say is right in plain sight. This is where and how magic works. Magic only purpose is to deceive you, each of us individually. It's your goal to have the wisdom, which is all words, all the words of Allah. It's the only way you will be able to understand what your people left from you. So from the very beginning, your people have been magnifying knowledge of self to the point it reaches tippy top. And this is what they disconnected us from. Where our people will be forever free. So we're going to go into a little bit of this Hebrew magic. Hebrew. This is what English was conducted out of, a magical language to hide knowledge. What knowledge? Knowledge of who you are. This is why religion never gives you knowledge of self. Religion is anti-knowledge of self. Think twice. So, to make you go away from your own knowledge of self, this is why they needed a language to do so. So let's dive in. We're going to look at this word from the Hebrew. This word, Tzelem Elohim. These are the people that hid your people knowledge. These will be known as Yahuda. This what became your Judaism. So when we're talking about those who run in the world, this is what they're using to run the world. From everything you see from TV to social media to anything happening in a city, state. This word is very important because we're going to reconnect it to its original root. Now, the reason why we want to bring up this is because we need to know what they know. So when they use this word Elohim, see, in English, you're familiar with the ear of Elohim. But Elohim is referring to something in context. So Tzelem is what the Elohim represents. So we're finna go into and understand. The Tzelem Elohim that's originating in Genesis 1:26 through 27 to describe humanity's creation. Tzelem implies that humans are created to be functional representatives reflecting God's character and authority. This is why my people being free. This is why my people are free. They hid who you are back in ancient times in Hebrew. Hebrew. In our times, it's English. These two things still connect. So in ancient times, Tzelem Elohim. In our times, image of God. Now we finna understand the connection. So let's pull up the artifacts right quick. Upon the time of Jeremiah, number 23, and the great uniting of the sea peoples under the law of Torah. This is where you hear the conversation about the spring. Our people move based upon the stars. So the law of Torah was our name for the law of astronomy and astrology as one. As above, so below is the law of Torah. And this going around 600 BC. And so Jesus is 0 AD. So in 600 BC, a new covenant came. A new covenant was made with our people. The Yahuda who became using this Hebrew, the Judaism, they refused to unite and instead fought against our people, the Hebrews. So I need us to pay attention right here. Hibiru. Hebrew tribes. So to fight against the tribes, this is what they use. Language. So if you don't know who you are, there is only language that is confusing you. And if you're dealing with a language from magic, this is why the language is confusion. So we know God is not the author of confusion. So any language bringing confusion is confusion. So this is what they was doing to our minds of ancient times when they fought against us in 600 BCE. So now when we come to 0 AD, now you're seeing what Jesus is born into and up against. Magicians, sorcerers. That's been pushing this for over 500 years since Moses was gone. So this is what became your Pharisees and Sadducees. And then you remember you had a magician named Jesus in the Bible. Bar Jesus. See, all this is understanding of they didn't have any knowledge of self. So what they wanted to do was wipe out our people, give us this new language to flip the roles. Claim your bloodline, claim your people's name, claim all their accolades, claim all their history. And that's why you see these people ain't doing nothing but claiming. And claims have no authority without good character and truth. So all that claiming ain't doing nothing for them. But when you start claiming, watch what this do for you. See, you can't claim in your English. They gave that to you. They know how to hijack everything you would say in English and make it a new narrative and take it and spin it. It's a magical language made from them, by them, for their ancestors to worship that over there. But the fresh water over here, we represent the imageless. And we are the bearers of the image of the imageless. There's two forms of Hebrew. I'm glad I'm hearing you. Before. Okay, because we got our way, and then we got the H-E-B. This is why I'm lettering it out. Hebrew. Yeah. You see that on the screen, then you see this one, Hibru. You will never see that in the historical record. This is being wiped out and replaced with this. Hebrew. And in this, they rewrote our historical record and made people not who they are. So our first father, Abraham, in this language right here, he's a Chaldean. Seeing if we know the truth, then you know God is not with the Chaldeans. So let me bring that in just in case. Great question. All right. So now, when you get on this AI, guess what AI is going to refer you back to? Hebrew, and then break down from there. So your family history will be hijacked all the way through the internet without you knowing how to read this stuff and translate it back to your original knowledge of self, which our ancestors already laid down for us. That's why they came with these other books, because we didn't need their books. We had our own. So they had to give us these new religious books that was now in a language that they can control, and now they can show and teach. This is how you know and learn. But it's all language. So when we're talking about this word, Hebrew and Hibiru, this is very key.
You said that AI give it to us in Hebrew. If that be the case, and then AI spread the definition from that on, AI is a liar. In this part of, in right now, I just want to point this out. Everybody turning to AI, and AI is set up a liar. And this artificial intelligence, people believe in it and they search with it, and this is the way they're traveling right now.
So I just want us to see this.
Oh yeah.
When you understand the language, this is what's happening. So which form of Hebrew we got on the screen right now?
Hebrew.
Do we got the mimic or do we got the real McCoy?
Mimic.
That's what we always want to look for. The mimic.
Okay.
That's what they've been doing us this whole time.
All this time, yep.
Is mimicking.
Mimic. Yep.
That's why on the paper it looks like your name, but it's not. It's not you. It's a mimic of you. And it needs the real you to apply yourself to that name for it to become activity. Right. And this is how they've been using magic. Trick magic. So now when we read it in the mimic, it says Ibri likely signifies that Abraham came from the other side. See, so now with this mimic, now you get a mimic story. Hey, this is where it gets great. This is where you get a mimic story. See, and I'm going to show right on the screen this form, which is controlling the Bible, which is controlling AI, that you won't find your ancestral historical records of what I'm speaking on no internet. The further you're going to go back is what I got on the screen, and then you're going to understand it wrong. And now you're going to disassociate yourself from the family tree. This is done intentionally. This is why they rule right now, and you didn't know you ruled. Because that's what magic is. Get it into the mimic. Now look what it starts saying with the mimic. He's a descendant of Eber, which Hebrew is derived, and Shem. Then in context, he is often described as Chaldean. Now, is that true? See, if that's what you got on the AI, that's what you're reading right. Now, let me show you what AI don't have. If Abraham is then how is he the father of all of Arabia? And furthermore, the birthplace of Abraham, number 6, was the people now known as Arab. You mispronounce it in the English, Arab. This is who you are. This is your people. And they did the magic on it. And now you think your people is Chaldean. Which leads to this form of the mimic. Not giving you the original name. So any alteration of truth, do we understand that is no longer the truth? The best description of truth is as is. You can't modify truth. You're just talking over it. Truth is as is. You could go around the truth. But this is what can never be changed, as is. And so this is what magic is doing, trying to get you to be convinced that you can change as is. See, and that's what the language for you to control others. This is why English exists, created from this form of Hebrew. So when you start getting into this study, this is where you go anti-knowledge of self. Now you're going to be getting beat to a form of mental submission to something unknown and outside of you. This is why this is very dangerous, and this is why we at the foundation of what it is. See, so they know this. While in the Bible, while Abraham was the first to enter a covenant with God and is called our father, Abraham, he was not technically a Jew. See, and that's what a Chaldean is. See, this is why it's very easy. In the modern sense, as that term relates to the tribe of Judah. Who executed our brother, our innocent brother? This stuff is easy. These are the people that did the Hebrew. It's pronounced E. See, but they write it like ours to mimic it. Now, when you go online or you get influenced, you're gonna have Hebrew. See, and if you are to find any historical record on the other name, the other form, you will see it degraded in classification, while this get upgraded in classification. But if you don't know this foundation, this is what Jesus was speaking on. Our great brother Jesus was speaking on. Their father was a liar from the beginning. This is the main portion of why and who executed our good brother. I tell you, the Romans and the Judeans, these are the same people that created the Ivri. 44, this out the KJV 8 and 44, as they would say St. John. Ye are of your father the devil. Jesus. Now, let me show you. He's speaking to these people right here that be writing like that. And you see that type of form. Be at the, y'all know them people like that. He talking to them people. See, and they ain't said who they are because this is written in English. It's made to hide the knowledge. So it taught kind of away from the truth of self-knowledge of letting you know who the devil is. Go in here and decode it if we are truth. But if not, then we just gonna swallow the lure. So the father of the devil they was talking about is Yahudah. The 600 BC. It's coming in 0 AD. So now we riding up in 32 or 33 AD right now. When they get like this is where they start putting the stones up in the air. Then after this, they start conspiring. So we finna get, because he ruining religion. So this is what we read, and this is what it's about. Ye are of your father the devil. That's Yahudah. And lust of your father you would do. The nature, they are offsprings of their father, which was from Babylon. This is where Judah was from. See, Judah is from a line, and that line takes us back to Babylon. His father is Jacob. So Jacob had one of the sons, Judah. So when he's speaking generationally, remember Jacob had 12 children, so it's a lot of people. So we're talking generations, like a big family reunion of multi-generations coming. And all of them faith. They've been claiming they of the family, but they ain't been living like they of the family. That type. So now we're talking about who is these people Jesus is speaking to? The Judeans. And the lust of your father you would do. Jacob. Remember the story, Jacob and Esau. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in truth. Remember, he wrestled. But let's keep it in context. Because there's no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own. For he is a liar and the father of it. No changing the nature of nature. So this is what he's speaking on now. And this is how they put it out to the people. So now if you talk about a Bible, they say, hey, you need to go back from English to the original language. They say the translation, English is a translation. And when you go back, not where the English get it from, where you end up at. Am I right or wrong? Do you end up at Hebrew? So is you at a beginning of truth, or are you still at the beginning of falsehood? So you got 2 points, A and B, both are considered faulty. The lesser of two evils. You're going to be just as confused as you was in English when you go back to Hebrew. And then, guess what, y'all?
Oh, yeah.
This right here, English is an upgrade to this right here. This right here was the first magic. English upgraded this.
Yeah.
This is why you can say anything in the structure of English and piss anybody off. It can be interpreted many. You see. Hey, and this is what we have to understand. Where did all this come from and the father of it? So they'll make you think Abraham was the father of it. See, they'll get you to start believing that a father would sacrifice their child when you get in this book. Because that's what start happening with the story in this book with the mimic called Abraham. Because at least y'all know, and we can pull it up again, that he was the first to honor the covenant to seize the practice of sacrifice animals. So in Hebrew, they reignited. They rise to grave.
That's right. You're doing it.
And so English is resurrecting the dead, meaning the demons. Why we see all this mania going around is because of English. This is what it was created to do as a language to deceive you. If you see a person that don't look like you speaking English, And it got to do with fear, not to believe it. English is made to deceive you. And we got to speak it until we get our Hebrew back. So we know each other. But someone who don't look like us speaking English, that's a red flag today. That ain't did nothing for our people, but buried our people. Then they build churches on our people that we buried to harvest our people energy. People wicked. Don't think these have any power where our people buried. Now people buried all, and the places that you is parts biggest stadium. All this fancy city stuff. Those cities are built on top of our people. I hope we understand this. These cities are on top of our people. Some of these waters are on top of our people. So we're talking about something here. It's something they don't want us to know about.
After seeing this and you showing this to me, to be misled, because I'm talking about preachers, all the scholars, every America is gonna be deceived, and they ain't been able to decipher. The only Allah can do that. And just like the Father Holly, he revealed who he wants to the straight path. And if you ain't of truth and purity, you ain't getting nothing. And that's why there ain't nobody got it. I mean, it's self-explanatory. And who will keep going on with wrongdoing and it's not the truth? That's what I'm saying. You just keep pushing it and keep teaching your children and when you find out something, you put on brakes. You stop it.
Thank you. That's why we finna go in now.
Oh, you going
this is it's finna connect to why you free and how you free. Because it's in our name. This is why they changed it and changed the spelling. So let's start getting into it. The word before Elohim is Tesela. Can we see something in that word? Remember, these are mimics. Mm-hmm. You got to know how to place your original translation of your Hibiru. And I'm going to show you what that means. Because they're going to rephrase it in Hebrew first. And then it's going to come out of Hebrew and then get translated to English.
Yeah.
So what I'm showing you, English would never take you down this road right here. You won't see this word right here in English. Even though it look English right now. So this word right here, can we see anything that we know of? Because we're dealing with self-knowledge here. This is how they flip self-knowledge. And if self don't know, then they tricked you. So we see T-Z-E-L-E-M. Okay, first thing in magic they'll do is replace letters. They'll use similar letters for similar sounds. So this. Let's start with something familiar that we know. ZELEM.
Mm-hmm.
What that looks like. With magic, they alter our phonics to get us to say words we wouldn't say. So that ZE was, it was to mimic us that we originally said, but for them to have authority, they need a language they have authority over. It's all about language, people, when we're talking about our people. We this orally. This was Ebonics. This is what became rap later. It all come from us. And we get to it. So what's a connection? I wish we could just all get it simultaneously. But this is why you got to put the self-knowledge in. It's all about self-knowledge. You knowing yourself, especially when you're going in books. Books is all about you in different languages. But if you don't know that, you're going to get caught up in the thought that's describing what you already are. You don't got to achieve nothing. You got the bloodline. Ain't nothing greater than the DNA. You Jordan coming in the league. You can't change this. So only thing that you can change is start what? Manipulate. That's what we call manipulating the truth. See, they can't change the truth. We the truth.
That's right.
They can't change the truth. But what they alter and manipulated to manipulate the truth was language, English language and the Ivri language. Because all languages are good, but these two, they just want to point you in a theological sense away from yourself and make up names in place of saying yourself. See, instead of saying you, they say him.
Yeah.
Elohim. But it's you. Him. But see, this is language we're talking about here. They want to bring things existed only through manipulating. You see anything here yet? In semblance. I have the eye. This is like able to spot a demon.
Yeah.
Not only in person, but you know how to do it in character. Out something for you. See, and this is how they made a script out of the letters. And most people just following the script. Because if I ask you now, you want to get to know God, where's more 100% people going to go get to know God?
All of the stuff.
Boom. So you already, but you're going to get some right because they mix truth and falsehood. But you're just going to be confused. Then you're going to be going on a search looking for what these words mean. Then you ain't going to never, or the snake ain't going to never get his tail. And this is how you roll through your life unaware the whole time.
See my parents like that. And brothers.
Yes, until it's time.
That's right.
It's a word they don't want you to know. It's a name they don't want you to call. It's evident you can't change the truth. All you can do is manipulating our people. See, because the Bible and the Quran, just like all the bloodlines, are about. Abraham. So when Jesus say, why he didn't say before David, if he was a Jew? Because David is not an Arab. He's Abraham is a Ra'abah. This is the lineage Jesus come out of. And these are, now we got to get to it. These are the real niggas. All the fake got everybody except the real. This is why we kept in the South. But y'all didn't know it was going to come a time where we were all needed who in the South. The nigga is the only thing real now. That the nigga is the only thing that's been real from the beginning. we finna get into what a real nigga is. And I'm gonna show you, just like we the Hebrew, this is where you get all this from. I know we're going into some history. Did anybody make out what I was making out?
The whole word, both words, the whole.
Just the star.
That would be. I know that ain't got that.
Thank you.
Come on.
Thank you. See what I'm saying? You just sit there and study it for a while. Your DNA will reveal it. Just sit there a while and you know the truth. It'll reveal itself to you. That's revelation. That's called Sufyan. That's is not a person flying in. This is the kingdom within. And so they took our Islam. This is what they took from us. Islam is the cultivation of perfection of all our ancestors' works. This ain't got nothing to do with people in the Middle East. This ain't got nothing to do with people calling themselves Romans and Judeans. This got nothing to do with people calling themselves Christians and Muslims. These people are in language hijacking our history. It's trying to be like us in this time. In the ancient time when we were laying it down. Now we were seeing in the world who was who. Now we see why God has his favor, his favor. Right, this is big right here. Giving you Islam. All are, here you come, you get Islam, you get Selim, Elohim. This becomes the image of God. So the word image of God is the word Islam. Those that have the authority in the image of God is called Islam. This is how they make fun of us. They are called this like, they're called Islam, and then they'll make Islam and put it in the Bible, retranslated to English from Hebrew Salam to English, it becomes the Lamb of God.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that there?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not reaching. I don't reach. I got the artifacts. Unless you tell me you think I'm reaching, then I'll show you the artifacts. So people out here worshiping the Lamb of God don't even know what it already came. It's our ancestors. They already laid it down. The masters, like how we say, like the masters of our, like just say we had Prince was our forefather.
Yeah.
And he got that massive estate.
Yeah.
That's what was, his masters own all that.
Yeah, right.
So we saying the masters records of all our ancestors together is called Islam. We rich.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you know what it means, but if you don't, you stuck in the Bible. Now you worshiping not your own ancestors.
I just want to get a flow to what you just said, because that's why Prince and Michael Jackson were killed, because they wanted their master copies.
Right.
And
the
now
master,
they got it.
Right.
And Sony did it.
And it's the same thing they did to us already.
Already.
They took your masters by making the Bible and the Quran.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you disassociate with Christian and Muslim because you think it has nothing to do with you, when these are no names of God except Christian. Now, when we're talking about our people didn't make up nothing called Christian. We was the image of God. This is what is called Islam. This is why Islam is a devotion to self-knowledge. It's devoted to your people. You being yourself. You talking about your ancestors. That's history. Who you seen with. Who you had fun with. Who you build with. Who you learn with, grow with. And self-restraint. Thou shalt not. The thou shalt not. To honor God. To each other when to honor the. Our people taught a language called Hebrew. Now let me show you what this is. See, Mu'min is Hebrew. This ain't got nothing to do with no Middle Eastern folks. Looking like them people at the corner store. It ain't got nothing to do with these. So now when we're talking about the Hebrew tribe, know about the Bible. This is why magic is used in the Bible. And this is why our ancestors said stay away from that stuff. And so we got to understand magic is their culture. This is what they do as barbarians. Warcraft type stuff. Warcry, something like that. Games they be playing. I've seen this with my own eyes. So when we talking about when we need to understand what we need to do, we need to understand what they are using for authority. To understand what they're using for authority is actually you. They got mimics of you. So they have different forms of inducing you. So to learn where all this comes from, we got to get into a little. We are not the Atlanteans. Or the Romans. These would be your Moors or your Amoricans. These the people of the sea that came off boats. So them people off them boats already in the ancient times disagreed with our ancestors. So what y'all think now? Don't you see they doing the same thing now? And they don't care about you. They are using you in your legendary legacies. That you care about nothing of no more. Which you are denouncing all your airship. That's why they inerrant and governing. What are they governing? These who they confused. How you get ungoverned? Show you not confused. You speak who you are. Then you live according. But this is what we want to know, why you don't speak Hebrew no more. Because of these people called Romans. Eventually, the Church of England, the Englishmen. So to the men of Atlantis, that's the Romans. And with the might of Darius of Persia, that's their Babylonian friend right there, their Persian friend. What you seeing now, they made a deal together. This is why they rulers over the world.
Yeah.
They rule that side, this side. It's a big stage going on right now of magic. And they want to get y'all pulled in. all this mess. Ain't no righteous, holy, virtuous being created none of this mess. So the main point we want to know about these Romans to signify who they are. The men of Rome. This is when you hear about the Atlantis or the movie Atlantis or the Atlanteans. Code word for Romans. That's their more ancient name. The men of Atlantis, Rome, did appeal, and with the might of Darius of Persia, did conquer southern Italy and found a new city they first called. This is what you want to know about Rome. Satan ain't no mythological book. Satan is the Romans. So get your mind out the sky. You're dealing with people who was giving you English. These people worship Satan. If you can't look around by now, then you're a part of it. These people that worship Satan, known as Romans and Judeans, named their city Satan as a curse to our ancestors. So this stuff, the demons, making black people demons in their writings, making black skin curse in their writings. This is all in your Bible if you don't know this. You agree to this if you holding it up. That's right. Speaking words out of it that have already came to pass. Oh yeah, and I'm glad we said this. So look, this is why this finna get real important. Because now, it's not a figment of, it's the oppressors of your ancestors. It's the enemy of your ancestors. It's the enemy of the enemy of the enemy of our ancestors who left the way of Islam for us. They made copies, Qurans, try to interfere with us. Made copies, Bibles, get that to interfere with us so we could never get to the all Sufyan. So you be free forever. I'm telling you. Now let's get to it. So now we're talking about they named the city Rome after Satan, after the same city was called Satan. They called that same city Rome. This is how you get the Romans. So prior to Romans, they were Satan. And what do Satanists do? They go against the Hebrew. They go against our people. So if you poor right now, that's going against your people. You can barely pay your bills. This is going against your people. If you own any type of assistance, that's going against your people. These people push their ways upon our people. And they refuse the ways of our people. And they set up Satan, Rome, as a curse against our people, as a curse against the law of Torah, and a curse against the one true divine creator. So how can anything coming from mean any good to us? They see us as dogs. That's why you getting treated as such. My people ain't finna be treated like that. any longer. You change the game. We stopping playing Monopoly. Let's play all Sufyan. Change the name, you change the game. So if you want to understand what happened to our people, this is what happened to our people. They was attacked by Satanists. This is what we call colonists today. These are demons and cowards. Again, when we comment, man. That's the only thing I was really about YouTube. See, I need some interaction with this type knowledge because it's not private. This is getting placed on the public for all people to be free. And if you're a coward, you ain't gonna say nothing, man. Anyway, so this ain't the channel for cowards. This is the channel for of Islam that we've been denied by. So, okay, let's go into the preference of why Heberu is so important. Because it's describing who we are. When we talk about who we are and who our God is, it's in this word, he be. So when we say who is God, we use the word ah. God was all ah. So who is all ah? He be Ru. This is how fly our ancestors were. When we talk it, those were today you get rhyme. Rapping. Which goes back to Arab. Arab and Arab is the same word in a different language. So you tell me when the white man gave you Islam.
Yeah.
And you tell me when the white man gave you all Sufyan Islam.
Yeah.
So we got to ask ourselves, why is it here now? In this time we in, when you need something to save yourself. So this was the self-knowledge. So non-Muslims is what all the nations are. When originally all the original people were Muslims. Musalam. We're talking about the ancient world. In this modern world, everybody Christian. That is against your ancestors. Now, Christian in the Al-Sufyan returns back to Islam. But the Christian out the Bible, that's not a Christian. A Muslim out the Quran ain't a Muslim. Those are not texts that teaches Islam. You don't learn Islam through no Quran. And you don't learn Islam through no Bible. But in Islam, you're allowed to read all books. But you only accept what is wise knowledge. See, and this is what our ancestors left for us. All. We got a right to everything that we're talking about. You just don't understand it yet. And I will please and pledge that you seek understanding. Because this has to do with your entire existence. This life and the afterlife. So our culture was knowledge of self. KOS. Now we're finna get into this specific knowledge of self. This is what's called He Be Ru. Now, just in plain Jane, it's his knowledge of self from He Be Ru. So who is Ah? Ah, He Be Ru. This is how you explain our God. He Be Ru. Now you finna understand, we finna walk it in. He who knows his own self knows all Ah. See, we got to understand how our people write. They didn't write, he who knows God knows his own self. They said specifically in the formula, he who knows his own self knows God. See, and this is the magic they twisted. They made you seek God. So now this is how the Bible gets you outside of yourself, and now you waiting on some mystical figure. And now anybody can swoop in and harbor you. And I don't want my people empty spirits being vessels and let any spirit come and fill them. You already got a spirit filling your vessel. You don't need nothing outside. Especially on matters of faith. When it comes to matters of faith, you don't need nothing outside of yourself. So the Bible took this concept and made a false belief out of it by changing the word through magic. So the wrong formula is he who knows God. knowledge of God don't equal knowledge of self. Look at the world we in right now. Ask everybody, do they know God? They'll say yes. And look at the condition we in. That's what knowledge of God first is and does. Now flip that. This is what Islam is. Get knowledge of self first. Then you will know God. You're going to get a bigger, different outcome. I hope we can see that's a small variable that have changed the whole outcome of people's lives. People may not be back because they went on the wrong road. They lost the way. Everybody lost the way. I'm bearing witness. And you won't even be able to hear this unless you have knowledge of self. This is the purpose of why magic became religion. To deceive. So now, self needs to know self to know God. So he be root. Look, this is why. So when you're saying God, God is he be root. Don't matter what you saying, you trying to say he be root. You want to know what your grandma and your ancestors were saying when you didn't know what they were saying? He be root. This is what became chopped up into your Ivri and then to your English. This is the most important thing that I'm going to talk about. This is what's going to set you free. I can't do nothing. This is you. You got to do this yourself. So as you say, the old saying, I bring you to the water, but you got to drink. Or observe a man when you bring him the truth and see how he handled the truth. So now when we're talking about he be, just like he, you talking about somebody, just like be, talking about what something is, and root, that which is. This is the as is. I can talk to you, as they would say, blue in the face. Until this right here wakes up. This is what sleep. This is why your ancestors left Islam. For this to never fall asleep. So we're talking about the heights of heights. We're not talking about the lows. This is your ancestors at its heights, left for their heirs to the throne. So we got to go into this word. We don't hardly hear this word. Let me show you what Hebrew. Look at it now closely. All that, because see, it ain't no more. Let me show you this on the screen so y'all don't take offense if I take offense to you not knowing. Because I was spending my time here to know, to make sure you know. I can do just like them and keep this in my head and don't bring nothing forward. Because they gonna keep you stupid. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna keep wasting my time, and I already know. We got to get to the people who want to know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, 26 is going to tell us that ignorance is no excuse. You want to be dumb after this? This is just on you any after. Because if somebody taking their time, ain't no rich man taking their time to help you, but the pure man got to come and take his time to help you. And he don't have a lot of time for you. It's massive of people that needs real help. So when we're talking about the truth, this is what people do not have, and you can't even accept it if you haven't did any self-knowledge and self-discipline. Well, this is Satan's plan right here. He know ignorance is no excuse. So as long as you've been living and you just keep ignoring, only thing you are doing to yourself is damaging your root. Your root, wow. This is what So I want us to look at that word and that spelling, because when I show you this, this is what you've been receiving. Because somebody read this for me.
The Hebrew word for spirit is ruach, which primarily means wind, breath, or air.
Did we catch anything?
Yes, it did.
The Hebrew word. Mm-hmm. Is that our word? Or is that the mimic?
That's the mimic there. Sure is.
So when they talking about Holy Spirit, getting you confused, talking about you got the Holy Spirit. See, this how a person like myself know you lying. You can't not lie to the truth. I'm trying to give the word of truth so y'all can't be lied to anymore. Because they're going to keep deceiving you until you got the truth. Self is the truth. They tricking you. So now when we're talking about this is what you finna receive. Look at that. Wind, breath, air. Look what your ancestors left for you to know. Excuse, we got it. This is what I mean by niggery. You fucking immortal. You up here believing in hoopties, believing in low paying jobs. You believing in low assistance. You believe in a philosophy weaker than immortality. And this is why your ancestors proud of themselves. Because they left it. They know they left it. And this is in your DNA. These are codes to your DNA to break free. So now when we're talking about, now how you going to get immortality out of this? These are just descriptions of what's immortal. Remember I told you we serve a imageless God. Tell me the image of wind. Tell me the image of breath. Tell me the image of air. But they won't tell you what they're telling you because this is magic. I'm not reading you the truth. This is magic I'm reading to you. I know the difference between magic and wisdom. Or magic and rule. So now when we're talking about look, this is the ancient mystery of the Egyptians. I bet this is where it's finna become embarrassing. Because today your modern day mystery schools are called secret societies and secret orders. Now tell me, y'all been to them, who brought you here? To the immortal, to the divine, to who you are, without a dime. This is how I know I'm around nothing but hypocrites. This is why real niggas is back out. You better know this. All that was dead came with all that language. The real nigga never even always knew it anyway. All in the ancient times, this is what was little folks studied for. This is what you need to know. Not need to know me. You need to know the rule. This is your power to live beyond a single lie. Now we're going to get into what this rule is. In the Hittite language, which just came before all these languages, majority of them in the Indo-European language, this is called Peru. Paru, have y'all heard some of these names? See, this is early forms of our ancient form. So now we're finna get into this understanding. This is why people are confused. Now, in your Bible, in your Quran, this is what you're gonna see is S-O-U-L. See, but in the Bible, you got to give up your S-O-U-L. So you got to understand this. By the time you get through that Bible, you'll be done gave up your S-O-U-L. And this is who you are. Once this is dead, it's done. Now, they haven't been able to do it. But they're using every method they can and squeezing right now. So I just want us to understand that you ain't gonna get the original word. They're gonna give you the image, the mimic, soul. So now it's many texts if you go into holy writings mentioning soul. So now of the soul, what then of the soul? Of the soul, the maniacs from Persia and the Hindu. This is what they say of the soul. This is the magic now, rewriting our ancestors' stuff. Only some men and women are born possessing a divine immortal soul they call a human. Of the soul, the rabbi priests of the maniac say, and this is where you get all this interpretation. All slaves, the poor and foreigners, do not possess a soul. This is how you look at when you go in the store. And so are less than animals. This is why they follow you around the store. They keep your eye on you, what you're doing. Cannot return to life. This is what they said. The religion of the maniacs, they call, this is the money worship right here. Monies, Manesh, Aryan. These people say some men possess a second soul. See, this is how you get into all that industry BS where you're selling your soul. This type of talk come out of English because it's magic. But they're talking about something that pre-existed this time period you in. So we talking about literature that predates the Bible right now. This is how you get to three, a Holy Trinity, and all this stuff right here. There's stuff in the background you don't know about that you might have an allegiance to. You can't fix nothing you don't know nothing about. I will reveal it to you. But are you willing to work on it? So when we're talking about this, your life that you got to die with, you just better be glad somebody came and helped with the truth. Because everybody be in this situation right now if I'm left with anybody. This is not no job well done, pat on the back, you had a great life. Nobody came to this realm and figured this out. What y'all distracted by? Nothing in your experience, nothing in your life you had an experience that changed you and made you understand what's important in life. So people are accepting these beliefs right here. Some being possess a second soul. You can believe that now, called a human. Now you can even believe few possess a third soul. I don't know what people believe in today. Of the soul, the Jains say, what I do know, they are becoming godless. Whatever they believing in, they becoming godless. So now we're talking about of the soul, the Jains say. I'm talking about we in ancient times. All living things possess a soul that is separate from existence and its body. Dig in your mind, I bet you will find one of these concepts as a false belief just having life in your mind, rent-free. Every plant, every animal, every man and woman possess a soul. The Jains say. Of the soul, the Mithrians, the Christians say, all men and women possess souls. No other living thing. The Mithrians and the Christians say, our souls travel down from heaven into our body at birth, and upon death we shall be judged, and if we fail, we shall be subject to torment in the underworld to atone for our transgression. That's my people who were lost right there. Y'all believe this, and y'all didn't search this stuff out, and it's talking about you dying, and you gonna let someone play on you. This is what most people believe right here. most people have no education of the soul. These books have beat the soul, beat you soulless. If you can't hear this message, you have been beaten soulless. And you did it to yourself. You took it this far. Ain't nobody made you did nothing but your own ignorance, because ignorance is no excuse. So now let's get into the details. All these people said something very similar. It was one word, cutting straight to the chase. That word was possessed. See, this is the critical thinking that you need to have time to have. You can't be doing other things and thinking about your faith. So now when we're talking about why is each sentence talking about possessing? So this is how people became possessed. Y'all keep saying y'all got Holy Spirit. Y'all don't study. You don't know what these things are. You invoking these things. These things come from sources you have no idea of, that's ancient than you, born in this time, and wicked people who hate your people, but use your people's stuff just like people use you. And you ain't caught on to it yet. So now when we're talking about, this is why you have all different levels, different understandings, different beliefs, because this is what the people have been filled with. So when you saying you leaving religion, this is what you're leaving from. They place something on your soul, but you don't know what it is. And hopefully this helps you to understand what it is so you can be free. I can't beat freedom in you. I can't beat purity in you. This is something that is achieved and attained through you yourself. So now, this is why. Tell me the difference. Number 7. Thus, the soul is God, and all souls are God. Tell me the difference between possessing, and is. See, this is why most people I see today got such a habit of wanting to possess things. Y'all don't know where this stuff come from. You are possessed. You don't know where these spirits, but they're going to be with you in that grave. I keep referring to, this is called magic. Its power is to deceive you and trick you out of what? Your immortality. So I haven't heard an answer. Neither online. What is the difference between is and possessing? Because where I'm at now, I'm through talking to you. I'm finna question you and see, have you been listening? Because this right here is what it's about. And I couldn't help you if I didn't help myself. Now, if you feel you're too bad and you're too big for this, step away from the room, step away from the meetings. If you don't understand, this is what you need to know. How to live again and how to never die. Then get off the channel, get off the room, get out the meeting. You're not looking to go and possess anything. For God is. You can't possess God. So stop trying to possess. Anything that you possess is not going with you except spirits. No physical thing was never real. Only the spirit in that thing was real. Y'all listen very carefully. Every vessel holds a spirit. I don't care if it's a fruit. You better care if it's a being. You don't know what's in a being. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. You don't know what spirit is harboring the vessel. You don't treat people wrong out here because you don't know what spirit is in any vessel. That's why Jesus told you that a good tree do not bear bad fruit. It's that simple. You good or not. It's that simple. Hebrew. This word soul is the root. This ruach is all. See, this is what you don't know that's in every living thing. Every living thing. This is why it's living. It's beyond your control. You can't possess this. So, finale. What the soul means in English, so you can get a crispy understanding. The very much thing they beat down in our ancestors. You see these people called the Romans, we stirred it earlier. See, they took something from science and found out what it was. And now you finna know what it is. The same thing the Romans told you was evil was your problem into why you are in the situation you in. Here you go. This 3-letter word right here. This is where you get God from. Ego. This is what come and get on your ass right here. This right here. Nobody knows this except today and hereafter. Ignorance is no excuse. The same thing they told you that was evil and godless is God. And that's your ego. If you don't have whatever you don't have, it's because you don't have the ego. Get the ego, you will attain what is so. That's how God designed us. Ego can never die, as all around you is around the ego is the illusion. So it is your choice to live in ignorance, like you don't have an ego, or wisdom, like you do have an ego. And this is what in our language we call he be root. This is why they couldn't fuck with us. And we back. Our shalom is long in the name of the divine creator. All are. They changed it.